Well, today, special day for me. We're going to get dirty and sweaty and hot for a change. While we're going today, I'm going to show you what good dirt looks like. We're going to cover planting, shrub removal, how to use a wheelbarrow. The first thing I have to do is just extract these shrubs. I'm going to show you the advantages of having good dirt, good amended soil. Nobody in their right mind should start trying to do landscaping without impeccable soil. The very first thing you do, you don't build a house on a bad foundation, you don't put a landscape in a bad. The very first thing you do is address your soil issues, whatever they happen to be. If you're moving into a new house or if you're building a home, whatever you're doing, wherever you're going to have a successful landscape that you're going to commit a lot of work to, and you want that landscape to perform the way you want it to, give it a chance by starting off right with this soil. When you see this dirt we're working in here, you'll see what I mean, and it pays dividends, huge dividends around here. Hardly ever have to pull a weed. It's just incredible what good soil will do for you. So I'm going to get off my butt now and get working. The first thing we're going to do is extract these boxwood. So we better get busy. But you see what's happening to these? They're dying from the inside out, and there's no way I'm going to wait to fix those. What's going to happen, I'm going to remove these, and this one here isn't looking too bad. The first thing we're going to do, remember, checking for those bees. We're starting to get in the season now a little bit. We're well into June, and these have had bees in them before, so you're going to be down there on your hands and knees digging these out. Don't find the bees then. If you can avoid it, try to find them like this. And if those bees come out, I might get stung once or twice, but I can haul. I mean, if you're down there into those things and they start stinging you, boy, it's a matter of seconds before you've got multiple stings as opposed to one or two, you know. So always just, I don't want one, but that's it. I'd hope not to find one. Always the knee pads. We're going to be on our knees now, and you always want to get the tools. Look at this shovel. Boy, that's what you want. You want these shovels. Look at the leverage I'm going to get with that. Of course, a pickaxe. You're all familiar with that. With just these two tools, I'll quickly extract these shrubs. I mean, if the soil wasn't like it was, I'd need a backhoe to pull these things out. They've been here for years. All right, let's see what I can do with that. I'm going to let gravity work for me. I'm going to work up the top of the shrub, and all we're going to do is just start getting around this shrub the best I can with any kind of. Shut that off. Okay, we're back. We're back for number two. I'm glad you didn't. You really have to rest a lot after you pull one of those. I'm not going to put you through what you just had to see. I'm just going to extract this one on my own. Fine, these ones had to go, but surprisingly, that isn't very. Where these tucked into it, that should have been a dead side of, and it's not. So I'm going to go with that, and I can get the gas trimmers back out, I suppose, and round that up. It looks really nice when it's trimmed. So I'm going to live with that. I'm going to get that trimmed up, and then we'll resume what I was started to do. Right now I've got to go get rid of that boxwood and trim that one up there, and I'll be back in a minute. So this is what I want to show you about soil. Come right in here, Karen. This is what you want for soil. I mean, look at this. This is what I'm going to be digging in today. That's good amended soil. Oh wait, just hit the dead man. That started out as topsoil. It was amended with peat moss, and always an amendment. Never use raw soil. It will compact on you in a heartbeat. You want your soil to dig like this, where you don't even have to work hard. It will just dig up, and there's nice soil consistency. See that? Look at how that breaks up. The aggregates just break right. Look at that. See that? That's what you want. Years of mulching on top of it. Look at that. Brush it with your hand. That's what you want to get for topsoil. If you have clay, dig it out. Whatever you have that isn't this, dig it out. Get rid of it. Get this in there. Till it with peat moss. You know, if you can. If you have huge areas, you can't. But you can work with what. Try to get your soil like this, and everything you do in it, you'll be rewarded for. And now we're going to go get. I'm going to show you another little trick of how to save amendments for future use, and we're gonna go to a pile now that across the yard here, and we'll be right back in just a minute, and I'll show you what we're gonna do there. Before we go get our compost, here's what I was left with after I graded it. They always have a grading rake like this. It's a 3-foot aluminum grading rake, a staple among, if you're gonna be a landscaper, do any landscaping at all, this is a grading rake. Don't use the stone rakes and try to get done with those what you can with these. These nice grading rakes, pull yourself a nice grade. But you see, after extracting the shrubs, and we haven't worked in this bed for a lot of years since the original planting, so it's sunk a bit. We're going to fix that. I've got just the stuff for it. I'll show you some amendment that's going to go in here to get the grade back up to shape, and also be just great stuff for these plants to go in. So we're going to go get that right now. All right, look at this. This mostly is old mulch. Before we mulch, and I'm going to do it again this year, especially our mound out there, things get a little high, and you never want a real acute mound. You want a nice gradual mound. So I strip the bark off that, and I throw it over here. But this is free. Will be every bit as good of an amendment as the peat moss would be. In fact, over this way, it probably is mostly. Look at this. See, that's the real decomposed bark. See that? Look at that. This over here, I think I got a little bit more soil. Yeah, a little bit more soil, but all good compost. If you can have a place on your property to do this with, sometimes before you mulch, go to your high spots where mulch is getting too high, and instead of continuously piling that on until your beds start looking out of whack, keep that nice graceful raised everything by stripping off this mulch. If it gets too old and it's not functional, you can't work it in anymore, strip it off and save it for other uses. Just as we're going to use today. You'll see, we're going to build that up, that bed we're working on up. It's going to look just beautiful. We're going to grade that just perfect, and then it'll be ready for when we do mulch later. But no. Everybody has their own ideas about planting. I remember as a kid, you'd dig the hole, you'd have to fill the hole with some water, and there were all these rules. Well, when you have soil like this, it's as simple as planting the darn shrub. I've watered all these in their pots. They're wet. They're going to go in wet. Then tonight we'll start watering them. And when you're against a grade like this, we'll stand down in the driveway and water against that bank, and make sure to get up high above the shrubs for some of the water. But in this soil, watering is going to go right down into the shrubs. They're never going to have a problem getting enough water. To take a tag off, you pull the loop here and pull that through, and it should come right out, and it does. Never leave the tags on. Don't make your landscape look like it's Christmas out there with a bunch of tags, and I've seen even the pros do this stuff. Take the tags off. If you're working for customers, I used to always save a tag from each of the shrubs, and I'd give it to them if they wanted it. But other than that, don't leave them on the shrubs. Okay, this is a Bloomerang dark purple, reblooming lilac. To plant it, because we're in such good soil, all you have to do, and now I'm going to talk a little about the amendment. We talked about the amendment. I should speak a little on the rule of that is about 1/3 amendment to 2/3 raw soil, and always cheat toward the organic compost side of things. In other words, a little more than 1/3's better. Once you start to get to the half point, then you're getting too much organic. You're getting too loose. Not enough substantial soil in there. Leaching can go too fast then. The root system might not hold up as well. You really need the soil, but you need it amended. Okay, to sink a shrub with this kind of dirt, really no problem. You just score it out. I've already placed the shrubs where I want them. It looks like it's going to be sort of an arched hedge. Yeah, you purists, I'm sure, are going to tell me if you see what I'm doing. I'm planting height in front of, but I left that, and I'm going to make it work. So from the point of view, the main point of view, yeah, we're going to block it here with higher shrubs, and you don't usually do that. But I'm sure not going to transplant that thing, and I'm going to work around it, see if I like it, and if I don't, I know how to get it out of there, but I'm pretty sure it's going to work okay. But eventually this will be quite a nice arched hedge, probably a 4 foot. It'll be up into here, and they'll probably all touch. Be very, very easy to prune. These lilacs, oh, very forgiving for pruning, and you know how I like to prune, so I'm going to like these. Now we're going to plant it. So what you do is just score the soil like this, pull your shrub away, and don't ever get it too close to the other shrubs. You start losing track with what ones you had. Now we're down on our knees with a really nice shovel here. There's no problem digging this hole. Just kind of, you don't have to dig it 3 times as wide as the ball, or you don't have to get real cute with anything because you got the soil here. And with this, you're down on your knees like this, and you've got this. Watch the leverage you can get by just putting a little weight on that. And I'm an old man, sports fan, so if I can do it, you ladies out there ought to really be able to hammer down on. Look at that. See what I mean? But you get the soil right. Nothing is hard. Look at this. It's hot out here today. I should be in taking a nap. It's easier, I think, to sit out here planting shrubs in this stuff. There's a 5-gallon shrub. I know I dug that hole in less than a minute. Look at that. Yeah, I don't have to sell you anywhere in the dirt. Just tip the shrub and in it goes. These are, it looks like recently must have been transplanted from 3-gallon to 5-gallon. There's no need to even agitate the ball. It came out so nicely. So, see, I have the nice roots in there up to grade. And then the first thing you need to do is get the shrub out of your hat, and then just return the soil. And you don't have to be careful yet. Okay, shrubs essentially planted. The next thing you do is you use your heel. You want to compact remember, you can't possibly compact the soil because of how it's constituted with amendment. So even if you forcefully push down on your heel like this, you're not compacting you are pushing it in tight to the shrub. And you walk right around the shrub with your heel. See your heel? Don't do this. It's not a step. It's not a little tap dance down there. We never do that. It's a heel. And sort of in toward the shrub. You're kind of holding it in place as well. Back down on your knees. And then if you want to get in right tight to the ball, right in here, tighten that thing right in there. Right? See how nice and tight that is? Then the rest of the soil just comes on in. That's all you need to do. I'll hand grade my way out of here. I'm not satisfied that's tight enough. Give it another little kick here. I'm pretty sure it's okay. Then you do loosen the top of it up and all that. You're all set now. I'll hand grade this off. And if we were completing the job today, we'd have mulch to put on. That would be the final thing, and that would cover a lot of sin here that I'm going to leave. I want you to see the soil, and when the job's done, we'll look okay for now, but I'm going to mulch later, so it won't look quite finished, but you'll get the gist of it. And when we're all done with everything, I'll mulch everything and take you back around the place. But for now, there's a planted shrub. I have 2 more to do, and that won't take long, and then I'll hand grade this off, and then I'll go get in the shade under the fan and pet my dog. All right, back where we started. So there you see how it should look. That look nice? Needs mulch. Once I get the mulch on there, that'll be a nice finished job. But what I wanted you guys to see today was a fat man sitting in a wheelbarrow and what good soil looks like. And you know, planting, going back with the plants in the soil like that, everything's so easy that I don't understand why people fight against spending money in that soil. When you have the chance to start a landscape, start off by getting the soil, even if that's all you do that first year of your landscape, get the soil right so that everything can flourish for the rest of your life, for the rest of my life. these beds around here are friendly. I have never, I haven't, I'm sweating, but I'm old and fat. But young kids, heck, they'd plow through this like nothing. But the reason is that soil. So I want you to learn about soils and make sure you're always working with stuff that's like this. So your landscape will do what you want it to do, and it'll always be easy. It's never hard to come out here and get something done. It's always fun, and it always turns out like that.
Hey.
Okay.